In here hanging out. Sorry to my friend Logan who got hung up on, but brother, unbelievable stuff. Thanks for calling in. Drop in the chat what your favorite bug is if you can, because the question of the day on today's show is going to be, what is your favorite bug? We're going to go back to my fantasy quarterbacks that I am drafting this year. Number 3 that I'm drafting is Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen Hurts on this list is the guy who's getting drafted higher than anyone else on this list. All of the other quarterbacks are guys that you can get post round 6, except for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is most likely going to be looking at the 4th round. At his current average draft position is closer to the 4th round or the 5th round. But I'm avoiding any quarterbacks who are going round 1 through 4. I'm just not touching Josh Allen. I'm not touching Lamar. JD5, no. Drake May, no. I'm not spending top 5 picks on those guys, on quarterbacks at all. Not saying those guys are bad, not saying they're going to help you win fantasy football leagues. I'm just not spending high draft picks on any of those guys. Jalen Hurts is the only one who I'm really going to spend a high draft pick on. Jalen is going to go higher in drafts than anyone on this list, like I said, but he has a legit chance to be the number 1 quarterback in fantasy football this year. For me, a huge reason the Eagles' offense was elite is because of their run game, right? When we saw them go to back-to-back Super Bowls, it's because the run game was unbelievable. They lost that last year. Sean Mannion's the new offensive coordinator, and although the book is still out on this guy, it's a first-time play caller, he should be smart enough to get this team back to basics. I think Mekhi Lemon is going to be really special. I think he's going to be like a Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua type player. I really believe in Mekhi Lemon's route running, his catching ability, and then his yards after catch is going to be very, very fun to watch. But overall, I just see a boost to this Eagles offense this year, and a lot of that is going to be because of Jalen Hurts. I thought Jalen Hurts was hurt last year because of how little they ran the ball. They ran no speed options. He had no quarterback keeps. It seemed like the team was just not going to run Jalen Hurts last year, and I don't know what that was about. He's one of the more gifted runners in football. He's one of the bigger quarterbacks in football. He's a guy that can just kind of plow straight ahead. The reason the tush push is successful is not just because of the offensive line. It's because Jalen Hurts is good with the ball. I like Hurts this season. I think he's going to have a great year. I think getting A.J. Brown out of there is only going to help Jalen. And for me, he's got a great chance at finishing as quarterback number 1. I always wait to take a quarterback, said Evan. That is the way to do it. That's why I don't have any of the top guys on here, because they're all going to go way too early. At another guy on this list, the 4th guy on this list, we just talked about a little bit with Logan, but it's Bo Nix. Zorro said, what are your thoughts on the tight end option for the Chargers, Njoku? I think there's a good chance Njoku has a good season. I've never really seen a tight end since Antonio Gates like truly shine for the Chargers. Hunter Henry had like a season there. But Njoku, in terms of pass catchers for the Chargers, is probably Justin Herbert's 3rd option, depending on how much we get Omari and Hampton out of the backfield or potentially even working in the slot. Yes, you heard it here first. Omari and Hampton in the slot. Yes, potential, possibility, maybe, an actuality. But ultimately, I think Njoku will have a good season. It's a health thing for me with him. He's a freak athlete. He's very good hands. He's a very good route runner. He's great with contested catches, but he's a guy who's been injured in the past, so Njoku, if you're going to go tight end late, I think Njoku is a good option. Where's Jaden Daniels, said Os Schaefer. Jaden Daniels is getting drafted very, very high right now. Currently, Jaden Daniels is getting drafted in late 3rd, early 4th round, and I'm just not spending a draft pick on a quarterback before round 6. And so for that reason, I'm avoiding Jaden Daniels. Plus, that Commanders offense might stink like Mike McDaniel did a ton with Gesicki in Miami with Tua, and I think Njoku is better than Gesicki. Yeah, Gesicki did have an impressive year that year. The thing about the Chargers, bro, is that offense is most likely right now, I'd say it's a guarantee that the Chargers finish as a top 3 offense in football. A lot of guys are going to get touches. A lot of guys are going to catch passes. A lot of dudes are going to score. They're going to spread the ball around. Is Njoku going to be the guy? Is Gadsden going to catch passes? Yeah, he probably will. I think that there are many guys on this Chargers offense that are going to have good seasons. I don't know if we're going to have one dude that has an unbelievable season as a pass catcher, right? I don't think it's going to just be one guy. I think there's going to be many guys that have solid years. I just don't know if there's one that sits over the top that I'm like, yes, you have to go get that guy. Maybe Ladd McConkey because he's going to get a lot of touches, but yes, I'm excited about that. Yeah, Joseph, I'm laggy right now. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. I'm actually hard plugged in via Ethernet to the modem. And it keeps going out, so that's frustrating, and there's nothing I can do about it except for pray. Lord God, please, 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 Jesus, cut it out with the Wi-Fi, brother. We're going to call right now from my friend in Florida. What is up, my brother? Danny from Florida. You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What do you have for the people today, brother?
What's up? Hey, bro, what's up? How you doing today, my man?
Danny, it's always good to hear from you, my guy. You are hanging out in Florida, in South Florida, having a good time. We're talking fantasy football. How you feeling about the season?
I'm feeling great, bro. I do think we may have an underrated quarterback to draft, and it's a long shot, but I think it's going to be good. I think Carson Beck.
Wow, we have someone who's high on Carson Beck. Real quick, before we talk about Carson Beck, what college football team do you root for?
Oh, man. You know I don't root for college ball. What are you talking about? What are you smoking
he's a
today?
University of
Come on,
Miami
man.
fan. He's a Hurricanes fan through and through. Tell me about Carson Beck and why you might have an underrated year.
I think I think Carson Beck could be a good quarterback to pick up in fantasy.
Okay. And tell me why.
I think him and Marvin Harrison is going to connect a lot. I really think he's going to have a good season.
Yeah.
I'm saying 20 touchdowns.
Wow.
9 interceptions.
Okay.
3 to 3,500 yards. Now, let's talk about Herbert. Look, man, this is his year. If he doesn't do it, get him out of here. But just put Madison Bell as starting quarterback. You know what I mean?
Are we doing that? If the Chargers don't have success this year, if Justin Herbert goes 0-4 in the playoffs, should the Chargers move on from Justin Herbert?
Yes. Yes.
All right, enough said. Maybe we should draft or we should make a trade for Carson Beck.
Bro, you've seen it before. You've seen it with Breeze. You've seen it with Phillip Rivers.
Okay.
Chargers don't change.
Yeah. Chargers don't change. We just charge on. You mentioned Justin Herbert and the Chargers potentially, having a bad season. It's this year. It's make or break for him. Talking a little bit about our guy Carson Beck. We've yet to mention your quarterback though, Malik Willis. Listen, Malik Willis is good on his legs. Good runner. Might score some fantasy points this year. Is there any chance Malik has a top 10 fantasy year this year?
I don't think so. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think so. I don't. But I'll tell you who's looking spooky gooky.
Yeah.
Spooky gooky. Fernando Mendoza.
Wow. Of course, Kirk Cousins is going to be the starter week 1. You think Fernando Mendoza might come in for this team and have some success after what you saw in the preseason game yesterday?
After the first drive, Kirk Cousins looked great. I'm saying if the Raiders beat the Dolphins, beat the Saints, going in 2-0 against, I think they play the Chargers or the Chiefs, and Kirk Cousins has a good game, I think Fernando should just stay on the playbook and learn, because what I saw, yes, Fernando did look good, but Kirko's got that lockdown.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. Kirko's got that swag too. He's got that dope on him. Danny, unbelievable stuff, brother. Before you go, on today's show, we're doing a question of the day. Today's question of the day is, what is your favorite bug?
Hold on. I'm going to have to bring in Charles Barkley for this.
Yeah.
Well, you see, the terrible bug is a terrible bug from, just posted the women from San Antonio.
I think he said women of San Antonio is officially his favorite bug. That was, of course, Charles Barkley. So far we've gotten on this show, I've asked 2 people what their favorite bug is. The first caller said Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and the second caller said women of San Antonio. I guess we're just trolling Vini today. If you guys want to just never answer my question, that will be funny as well. But if it's a group effort, that'll be quite hilarious if we do it like that. Oreo the Cat, what is up, brother? We are back. Bo Nix is a quarterback that I am targeting in fantasy football this year. Sean Payton's always going to be able to put up points. Give that man Jalen Waddle, and things might go crazy. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
My name is Joseph. I'm calling in from Pennsylvania.
Joseph from the big ol' PA hanging out. Are you making it down to Williamsport for the Little League World Series, Joseph?
Nah, I'm not.
Okay, that's fine. You just don't support youth sports?
Nah, just I don't know. We're going back to school soon.
Yeah, Joseph, we are going back to school soon, which is going to absolutely stink like crap, but we do have some sports going on. Now, Joseph, before we get into anything fantasy football, I wanted to get some thoughts from an expert in this arena. Enes Kanter is declaring for the WNBA draft. Where are you at with trans rights in professional sports?
I don't know. I don't like it.
It's a great answer, brother. Joseph, talk to me. I got 10 quarterbacks up on this list that I would take in fantasy football. What quarterback are you targeting most in your fantasy football drafts?
I like taking quarterbacks early. I like Josh Allen.
You like Josh Allen. You'll go with how high are you taking Josh Allen? Or is he your second pick?
I would say I would take him third round.
So third round, you're going to go running back, wide receiver, and then try to take Josh Allen with that third overall pick?
Well, in my main league, I have the third pick, so it would probably be wide receiver, then running back, then whatever his name is.
Yeah, his name's Josh Allen. I think it's a good take. He's a guy that's going to win. He's going to play a lot of games. He's a guy who's always been out there. He doesn't get hurt too easily. He puts up a lot of rushing yards, which is great, and scores a lot of touchdowns on his feet. And he's a great thrower to the football. Turns it over a little bit. I'm kind of iffy on the Bills this year, bro. I'm not going to lie. I think there's a shot they don't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like taking quarterbacks when they don't have a good team. I took Lamar Jackson last year. I hated it the entire time.
You got to take guys that are on good teams. And I'm not saying the Bills are bad, but every single year over the past, I believe, the past 20 years, 4 teams that made the playoffs the previous year missed the playoffs the next year. So you got to imagine that 4 playoff teams last year are going to miss the playoffs this year. And I think there's a chance Buffalo might be one of them.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, but ultimately I do not have Josh Allen on this list because I don't like drafting quarterbacks until like round 7 or 6, and just Josh Allen will not be there at round 6. So I left him off my list, Kane. That is why I don't have him.
Do you play in a PPR league?
I play in PPR. Yes, I do.
All right, that makes more sense. I'm full PPR, but I still like taking quarterbacks early because not that many other people do.
Yeah, I mean, it is a strategy, Joseph, and I'm not going to slight you for it. It's unbelievable stuff from you, my brother. Before you go, today's question of the day on TBWZ is, what is your favorite bug?
A scorpion.
I mean, we're just continuing on. That's not even a bug, but I absolutely love it. Joseph, you are the absolute man. Thanks for calling. We'll talk soon. Yep. He said, All right, so far I've asked 3 people what their favorite bug is, and we've gotten the answers: diarrhea of Wimpy Kid, the women of San Antonio, and then scorpions. Yeah. It's like you guys are trying to drive me up a wall with these answers. You're trying to drive me to craziness. What's up, Gliz? What's up, PV? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the fun, brother. I was talking about Bo Nix being a quarterback that I am targeting in fantasy football this year. I'm not the highest on Bo Nix as a quarterback, but I cannot deny that the dude does put up fantasy points at a consistent rate year over year. He also has Sean Payton as his head coach. There's a lack of star power at the running back position. There's a lot of firepower on that offense, but it's not at the running back spot. It's because of Bo Nix, Sean Payton, Jalen Waddle, and Cortland Sutton. I think Jalen Waddle is going to have a pretty big year, bro. I'm not going to lie. I also think Cortland Sutton is going to get opened up in a big, big way. Pause. Will Noah Fant have a good year? Yeah, I just think that the pass catchers in Denver are going to have a fun season. I think they're excited about what they did last year. I feel like they got slighted. I feel like they think that team thinks deep down they would have beat the Patriots and gone to the Super Bowl and had a good chance at beating the Seahawks if Bo Nix did not shatter his ankle the last game of the season. I think he comes back with a vengeance. In the first 2 years of his career, he finished 7th in fantasy points both seasons. I don't expect him to finish him much lower than that. You can get this guy in the 8th round, and you can almost guarantee that he'll be a top 10 quarterback. Got to take that. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Eli from SC. I'll talk to you up in class.
Yeah, Eli, you have called in. You are from where again?
South Carolina.
Eli calling in from South Carolina, having a good time on today's show. Have you been back to school yet, brother? Are you still in summer mode?
So I'm in college. I'm going to grad school starting Tuesday.
Nice. What are you getting your master's in?
Clinical addiction counseling.
Oh, that's so awesome, dude. I am myself an addict. I'm 3 years sober of alcohol and hard drugs.
That's amazing.
Thank you, brother. But enough about me, enough about addiction. My only addiction now is football, and you're calling into the show to talk a little bit of ball. How you feeling about what quarterback you're targeting in fantasy football this year?
I'd say I'm very high on Dak this year, especially, I feel like even in fantasy, he's just a producer. But the only question mark for me is just his health. I think
Dak
when
Prescott's
he's healthy,
health?
Yeah, his health, because he tends to get injured almost every other year based on his injury history.
Yeah, he did get he had a clean season last year. He played in every single game. He was top 4 in yards and touchdowns, attempts, and completions. He had 9 top 10 fantasy finishes. I think the Cowboys' offense was just a juggernaut last year. And I think he's going to have a lot of success this year with CD full-time and George Pickens on a contract year. I'm high on all of the Cowboys' offensive players. So I'm drafting all of those guys, if you will. And Dak is a guy that you can get in round 8. Yeah. We had the previous caller said he likes taking quarterback high. Where are you with your actual draft strategy?
I'd say I take a quarterback around probably 6 at the earliest. That's the earliest, because I think if you take QB high, you're going to be missing out on the top end talent later on. So I think it's important to nail QB. Not QB, but running back, wide receiver, and even I'd take a tight end early before I take a QB early.
I agree with that take. I think tight end is an underrated position in fantasy football. I think every single champion I've ever seen has had a top 3 tight end, top 5 tight end on their league. And a lot of guys win championships with Joe Flacco at quarterback, because ultimately a lot of guys can put up points at that position. It's a little bit easier to do so from there. But yeah, Dak Prescott is a good guy. Is there any quarterback that you're avoiding in the draft, someone you do not want on your team?
That's a good question. I'd say I've seen a lot of Jackson Dart early, pre ADP of under 100, and even as a Giants fan, I'm a Giants fan. It's too risky for me just because of the concussions, but also I just don't think he'll be a top 8 fantasy quarterback. Or I think he's going to be good, but he won't live up to that ADP of where he's being drafted.
Yeah, Eli, furthermore, I'm actually agreeing with you, brother. I have the Giants as a team that I'm looking to avoid this year. I'm only going to be taking guys from teams that I think are going to have good offenses. And do you want to know the names of the guys running the Giants offense? So obviously John Harbaugh is the head coach. Matt Nagy is the offensive coordinator. Greg Roman is his assistant, and Brian Callahan is the passing game coordinator. Holy crap, those are 3 dudes that absolutely suck at all things offense. John Harbaugh has put together a Legion of Doom, one of the worst coaching squads I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, so for that reason, I'm avoiding Giants players in general. Malik Neighbors, probably not going to start healthy. Cam Scatterboo shattered his ankle. That guy, I think, eats rocks. And then Jackson Dart cannot keep his head above water. So I'm kind of going to avoid the Giants this year, man. I'm sorry about your team, but I don't think there's a chance they finish the playoff team.
Yeah, I agree too, for the most part, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do end up slipping in. I wouldn't be shocked just because of Harbaugh's pedigree, but I agree for the most part, yeah.
Harbaugh, a guy known to slip it in. My friend Eli from South Carolina, before you go, question of the day on today's show. What is your favorite bug?
I'd say a praying mantis. Praying
mantis
is really cool.
Praying mantis is the first real answer on this sheet. Praying mantis is a great one. My guy, Eli, God bless you, bro. Thanks for calling. Thanks for following. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Peace. Jalen Warren and Achane. I mean, Achane might be half decent, but I'm just not going to be touching any Dolphins players. How much of the Achane success was from Mike McDaniel? That's my question mark. I don't want to take guys with question marks. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ. It's my friend Hailstorm Sports from North Carolina. How you doing, brother?
No, I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, having a good time. Hailstorm, do you want to talk some fantasy football with the people, brother?
Yeah, dude, sure, why not? I like your list, but I think you're missing a guy.
Off my 10 quarterbacks that I would draft, you think I'm missing a guy? Tell me who it is.
It's a guy, I get why you didn't put him there. He lost some weapons.
Okay.
But he's a guy who I would think was slighted this offseason, and a guy who plays best with a chip on his shoulder. That's Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield's a great shout. Baker is maybe like the best quarterback in football weeks 1 through 6, and then something happens where he like throws out his shoulder trying to make a tackle on a pick that he threw, and then he hurts his arm and then doesn't tell anybody and then plays like crap the rest of the season.
Yeah, I just think that this year he's on the contract year. They didn't extend him.
Yeah.
Let one of his weapons walk away. Probably the front office expected him. I think the front office did not extend him because they thought he was going to have a worse year this year and they could pay him less money because he lost a weapon or two. And I think he's going to go out there and, be a dog, more rushing yards maybe this year than what you anticipated, a couple more rushing touchdowns to obviously add to the fantasy points. He's not going to be my QB1 because I would worry about that. But he's a guy like the last round I might grab as like a guy who, depending on the matchup, could be a dog.
Yeah, I think Baker, PV puts up a great point in the Twitch chat. He said all of his receivers got injured last year, literally every single one. We even had the David Sills game. If you remember against the Commanders, we had the unbelievable Monday night David Sills game. It's a guy who was in 7th grade was offered a scholarship by Lane Kiffin at USC. David Sills, unbelievable story. But I think Baker in a contract year with a chip on his shoulder is a guy who I'm looking to take. And another wide receiver no one's talking about right now is Emeka Egbuka. He was JSN before JSN. Like, people are really high on Emeka last year. Haven't heard much about him. I think the Bucs might be sneaky decent. You got Bucky Irving still got Chris Godwin. Like, that offense is going to put up points.
Yeah, if you're questioning to draft somebody, just take an Ohio State wide receiver. You'll be okay. That's usually a pretty good spot to put yourself in.
Are you sure?
I'm an Ohio State fan.
Yeah, I mean, before JSN, who's maybe I'm gonna show my butt here, but before JSN and Emeka Egbuka, who were the Ohio State wide receivers?
I mean, you got Chris Olave's had the injuries. Chris Olave is a guy who is a guy who catches passes. You have Marvin Harrison Jr. is a guy who was incredible coming out of there. You have
I think we're getting to something interesting here with the Ohio State guys in the NFL. How come every Ohio State quarterback that comes into the league kind of stinks?
I don't know. You got Garrett Wilson. I'm not forgetting Garrett Wilson. Oh my God, Terry McLaurin. He's a guy.
Yeah, I'll give you Terry. I'll give you Garrett.
Curtis Samuel was a guy for a little while.
I mean, Curtis Samuel's crazy. I think there's something weird about Ohio State guys coming into the league because that team is always so stacked and there's so many dudes around them and they have a cupcake schedule every single season except for this year. And I'm excited to see them lose some regular season games for the first time in my life. But ultimately, I don't know. I hear what you're saying about Ohio State wide receivers and their talent, but it feels like it doesn't translate into the NFL, except for, of course, JSN and Emeka Egbuka. Those guys are unbelievable.
Oh my God, yes, they're incredible.
They're so great.
I think Marvin Harrison Jr. The clips are coming out of training camp don't look that good, but I think he's going to have a good year. I think all things considered, comparing at least relative to the fact that he, the quarterback situation. I mean, I was to put it in perspective. I've been to one Ohio State game, right?
Yeah.
Peter Stroud was a quarterback. I saw Trevon Henderson. He was running back 2. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Fitz-Njigba, and Garrett Wilson all played that game.
It's crazy. It's so stacked. That team always is. Hailstorm, I'll give you a couple of minutes left on the show. Was there a topic in the world of sports that you wanted to talk about today, whether it's Enes Kanter or the Lakers sale or Kawhi Leonard? What's up?
Bro, I'm not touching the Enes Kanter thing with a 50-foot pole.
I put a crazy take on TikTok yesterday, and on Instagram. It has 2 comments on Instagram and 617 comments on Facebook. So I don't.
My only comment will be, Ennis, but if you do it, commit fully, or it's not worth it.
Like, you have to cut off your penis.
Do it all. No, maybe not the surgery, but commit to it. Please commit.
Yeah.
Anyways, I will say, Hornets made a trade today. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, Hornets did make a trade for Dennis Schroeder, and they got some cash from the Cavs.
Yeah, and Trey Mann was so much fun for a little while there, but he had the back injuries.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the best for him. He was really good for the Charlotte community. He's like a really good dude, good dad. He has kids at games a lot. His son at the games a lot. It was really cool. I'm hoping the best for him, but dude, this Hornets depth is nuts now.
Yeah.
Like it's it's your bench. You're gonna have Dennis Schroeder. You're gonna have Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, Grant Williams. You also still have Dorian Finney-Smith.
Kobe White.
Kobe White's gonna be our starting point guard.
Yeah. Okay.
You're gonna have. I'm talking about bench guys.
Yeah, bench guys.
So you have your Hannes Steinbach, who was incredible in summer league.
Yeah.
You have Pat Connaughton back there too as like a bench piece.
We throw this around way too much, but they're legitimately like a star away from being incredible.
And they have so many contracts now that if they wanted to, I'm gonna make sure I didn't miss anybody. Dennis Schroeder, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, Grant Williams, Hannes Steinbach, Christian Anderson, Sion James, who had
the roster
for a rookie. Pat Connaughton, Liam McNeely, who had a really good summer league, Dorian Finney-Smith, Tijon Salon, who I still have a little faith in him. He put on.
All right, and time. That's all the Hornets talk we have for today. Hailstorm. Before you go, brother, the question of the day on today's show is: what is your favorite bug?
I think you know the answer to that.
Wow.
There's only one professional sports mascot that is a bug. That's my team. Give me the Hornets.
I absolutely love it. Hailstorm Sports. You can find him all over social media at that name. He does great breakdowns on obviously North Carolina sports, but all sports in general. So, brother, God bless. Thanks for calling in. We'll talk soon.
Also, my fiance wanted to say her favorite bug is a roly-poly.
That is a great choice. Your fiance is awesome. Roly-polies are legit, dude. She's a keeper, brother. Congrats, dog. Talk soon.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Peace. Wow, roly-poly is a great bug. So yesterday at work, I was asking all my coworkers what's their favorite bug. So I usually preview the question of the day at work the day before these shows. And so I previewed favorite bug. Didn't get roly-poly one time. That is a fantastic choice by Hailstorm's wife. I think we already took this call. No, we didn't. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Wait a moment. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. What's up?
My internet sucked for a minute. Give it a minute. Sorry. I'm Yasmin from Philadelphia, and I have one person to add to your quarterback list.
Okay, one person to add to my 10 quarterbacks that I would take in.
Mendoza, obviously.
Birdie, you know that Fernando Mendoza is not going to be starting this season, so I don't know if I would.
I'm not happy he's playing at all. That's all. Not happy because I watched his Indiana State stuff, and he's good.
Indiana. Yeah, he's.
If Kirk Cousins slips up like he's been doing, I mean, Mendoza might have to go in. You know.
He might have to go in if he does slip up. Yes, it will be an unbelievable story over there.
Yeah,
Birdie, are you playing fantasy football this year?
Yeah, I'm an Eagles fan, and I would say this: Jalen Hurts better fucking
Hey, no cussing, Birdie.
I caught myself. Don't worry. I'm just saying Jalen needs to focus on the ball. Defensive, we're good offensively. We're good, Eagles. But let me say this: defensively, we need to do better. Agreed?
I think defensively you're going to be unbelievable. I think the problem last year was the offense. So I think the offense has to get better.
I mean, both of them need to work together. We can't just rely on Saquon all the time, you know?
Yeah. Birdie, I absolutely love it. What is your take on the whole situation happening with Enes Kanter declaring to be a woman and trying to join the WNBA?
Who is he again? I forgot.
He's a former NBA player. He says he is now a woman.
What team?
He was on the Celtics for a while. He kind of bounced around the league.
Oh, him, that idiot. Don't get me started. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Do you think the WNBA should let him play in their league?
As a woman, I'm kind of offended. Like,
yeah.
You're good as a player, dude.
Yeah.
And don't compare yourself to us.
Yeah.
That's because we're better. That's because we win things.
Yeah.
As a 76ers fan, we used to play you, Eddie. We used to play you.
Eddie.
What happened? What's your opinion? You're a Lakers fan. What's your opinion?
Yeah, Birdie, I love when you defer it back to me on these things.
What's your opinion on it, dude? What's your opinion on what he said?
I think if he goes all the way and starts taking estrogen, then they should let him play. But if he doesn't do
God.
Isn't that silly?
I don't worry. I have trans friends, but he's desperate for attention. That's what it is.
I think he's
He's desperate because when was the last time he played?
Yeah, it's been a few years since he's played because he got kicked out of the league because he stinks.
I love him, but dude, just buy a team at this point.
Yeah, why not just go out and buy a team?
So badly, buy a team and be in charge. But also, what's your opinion on the Lakers being bought?
The Lakers being bought and sold and flipped in less than a year. It's a very, very fishy thing going on there, especially with Mark Walters and the probe from the SEC.
Disney buying it is suspicious on every front to me. Why would Disney want Lakers of all people? The Clippers are closer.
They're going to make a Luka Doncic ride at Disneyland, maybe.
Maybe, but...
Have you ever been to Disneyland, Birdie?
Yes, I've been to the Florida one, not L.A.
Are you a Disney adult?
Yeah. But I'm just going to say this. Luka went unapproved because you know how Luka is.
Yeah. I know how he is.
But also, when is your first Chargers game, by the way?
When the season starts, we'll get going. But Birdie, we got to take some more calls before you go. Okay. She never answers the question of the day. I would love to ride Luka Doncic. Come on now, brother. You and me both. I got my 10 quarterbacks I would take. I do have a call coming in, but I want to tell you real quick why Patrick Mahomes is on this list. This is the lowest average draft position we have ever seen Patrick Mahomes since he started his career outside of year one. And for good reason. I understand it. Coming off 3 somewhat disappointing years fantasy-wise, his efficiency numbers are down, and of course his knee. All that being said, Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs offense is getting Eric Bieniemy back, who's the OC that led them to the Super Bowl every single year at the beginning of this dynasty, and I think he's going to be doing a lot for Mahomes and this offense. Patrick Mahomes is an absolute wild card. It is a risk to take Patrick Mahomes and make him your starting quarterback, but if I'm getting Patrick Mahomes in the 8th, 9th, maybe even 10th round, I'm 100% going to take that gamble. For me, this play with Pat Mahomes is all about draft position. If I can draft Patrick Mahomes in the 10th round and then maybe even trade the guy who I took above him and use Pat as my starter, you're not going to get an opportunity to get Pat Mahomes this late in a draft ever again in his career until he's old and washed up. So, for me, the risk of drafting Pat Mahomes is a gamble, but ultimately one that I'm willing to take. With the 5th round pick in round 1, who should I take? It's all about who's available, Mark. I got Shuck and Baker as my QBs. I like Shuck in the Kellen Moore offense. I think he's going to be fun this year. I think that offense is going to be good. Tyson's a good pass catcher. Obviously, Olave is as well. I think the Saints are kind of a sneaky good team that might have success. And then Baker, contract year. Contract Baker. Weeks 1 through 6, Baker's going to be awesome. Then he usually gets hurt and falls off a cliff. But if he can stay healthy and do his thing, he's got Emeka Egbuka still got Chris Godwin. Bucky Irvin's going to be running the ball hard. David Montgomery's going to be in that backfield. I think the Bucs are going to be a little bit better than people think they're going to be. But ultimately, Baker is a guy who is a dark horse for me that could potentially be a top 10 fantasy player. Pick number 1, Hampton, Saquon, Genti, or Achane. None of those guys. I'm between the top 4 of CMC or St. Brown, not sure about JSN. You have the top 4 pick, you have the 4th pick, and you're thinking of CMC, Amon-Ra St. Brown, or JSN? It depends on if it's a PPR. Bro, not pick number 1. Well, you made it sound like you were picking them number 1, like a crazy person. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
My name's Brandon. I'm from downtown LA.
I almost said Browndon. Freudian slip there. Brandon in downtown LA. I was living in Hollywood not too long ago, so not too far away from you, brother. But you're calling into the show, brother. What do you have for the people, Brandon?
I just wanted to see. This is my first fantasy draft, and just rank a couple of rate my draft a little bit, if that's okay with you.
So this is your first time ever playing fantasy football?
Yeah.
I love it. We got a first time player. Yeah, let's hear it. Let's do some of your picks.
All right, I got my quarterback. I think this is an 8. this is an 8-person PPR as well.
8-man, okay, so team should be stacked.
Yeah, I got Lamar.
Okay, like it.
CMC.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry.
Fun.
I got Javonte Williams on my flex.
Cool.
I got George Pickens.
You're going Cowboys and Ravens heavy.
Yeah. Devontae Adams.
Yeah, got to get a Ram on there.
Harold Fannin Jr.
Okay, rolling with the Browns.
And I got Fairbairn as my kicker and Ravens D special teams.
Man, I think you got a good squad. You got a good squad. In an 8-man league, it's going to be an interesting one. I think you got some potential pieces to move on from, too. You got 3 really, really solid running backs, so you might be able to push one of those off to another team and make a trade to improve at wide receiver, maybe, if you feel like that's needed. But ultimately, I think you got a good squad. Brandon, you're in downtown L.A. Are you a Lakers fan?
No, I'm actually from Detroit.
From D-Town. Yeah. Unbelievable. Dude, I love Detroit, man. I was there last summer. It's an unbelievable city. Detroit, awesome. Bro, sneaky. Like, in the past, 50 years, this is probably the best Detroit sports have been?
Yeah, I would say so. The best of my time period, for sure. Like, Lions, Pistons.
Are you a hoops guy?
We're doing okay. Fairly well, yeah.
But you're mainly football?
Yeah, football. Since I can remember.
Well, Jared Goff is a quarterback that I have on my list of quarterbacks that I will draft, and I'm going to go over that in just a second. But, Brandon, unbelievable stuff, brother. Before you go, the question of the day on today's show is, what is your favorite bug?
I was listening in. Roly is like ball knowledge. Like, Roly-Poly's low-key. I would say Roly-Poly's up there for me, too.
Roly-Poly officially has 2 votes. It is elite ball knowledge. It's unbelievable. Brandon, my guy, thanks for calling in. Thanks for following the show. God bless, brother, and we'll talk soon.
God bless. Thank you.
Peace. My guy Brandon sounded a little bit sleepy, but he's chilling out in DTLA. It's 4 p.m. He probably just got off work, and he wanted to talk a little bit of fantasy football. If you guys want to call into the show, the number is 213-352-5216. We'll be live for probably another hour or so on today's show, and we're going to keep things rolling with this call from my friend Oreo. Oreo, what is up, my brother? You are live on TBWZ.
What's good?
What's good, dog? You're hanging out. What do you got for the people?
I'm excited for NFL season to start up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think you saying that JD5 is someone you want to stay away from is crazy, though.
I just don't want to draft a quarterback that I have injury concerns over and offensive concerns. I don't know who he's going to be getting the ball to, but ultimately, though, I don't know who's going to be protecting him.
You don't know who he's going to be getting the ball to?
He's going to get the ball to Scary Terry.
And Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, if Diggs is even playing, remember that man's a predator. He might go to jail.
I thought that was like gone. I thought that was over. Nothing happened with that.
I mean, the way that the NFL works, it probably will be. But I just have question marks about that team. Like, JD5 is a guy who got injured a ton last year. I don't know how he's going to be bouncing back. All this stuff with the LSU and the number 5 jersey is also really, really off-putting for me. If that's my franchise quarterback, I'm really not stoked about him being so weird about the stuff going on at LSU.
I just like, yeah, he's a little more focused. I don't think that that's him doing that at LSU.
What do you think the situation is?
I think it's his mom wanting his number. I don't.
There goes Oreo the cat blaming it on women.
Whoa.
Putting the blame on the woman in the house.
Whoa.
I didn't say it, you did. No, I hear you. I can see parents being a little bit weird with some of that stuff. It just feels like a team that I have a lot of question marks on and about, and I don't want to go into a season with my fantasy quarterback being on a team with a bunch of question marks is more the thing for me.
Yeah, but like if he can perform well, if he can perform how he did 2 years ago, he's 2 years removed from freaking conference championship appearance.
Yeah.
I just like.
This is also a guy on the phone right now who's from Pittsburgh and is a Pirates fan, and on his fantasy baseball team took 4 Pirates.
Yeah.
And now you're calling and telling me that the quarterback of your favorite football team is going to have a great year.
Uh-huh.
You know who you sound like? You kind of sound like me.
I think it's just being a sports fan.
That's what we do here. We're delusional idiot sports fans, and I absolutely love it. And Oreo, you're the man. You're going to be playing in our fantasy football league. How fun does it sound, a 16-team, 2-quarterback league?
Kinda insane. I haven't really done anything for that amount. I mean, it's my second year doing fantasy.
I'm telling you, it's going to be absolute chaos and so much fun. Oreo, before you go, question of the day, what's your favorite bug?
Honestly, I'm going with other people, other than the first two. Roly-poly.
Roly-poly just got its 3rd vote. You didn't want to follow Blake and his favorite bug of Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
No, and I also didn't want to follow the other guy who's San Antonio women.
Yeah, women of San Antonio are his favorite bugs. Oreo, unbelievable stuff, bro. Thanks for calling. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Peace. Let's go with it. I talked about Pat Mahomes. Another quarterback that I am drafting is Matt Stafford. That offense is going to be so legit this year, and the defense will be insane. They're going to absolutely dominate a lot of teams, which might mean less of a passing attack late in games, but I won't let that stop me from taking the reigning MVP on my team. Right now, crazy enough, Matt Stafford is going late 6th, early 7th round, which for me might be slightly high for a quarterback, late 6th. But if your team is looking good and you've already got 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end through rounds 1 through 5, and you're sitting there at round 6, Matt Stafford's available, you're obviously going to go out and draft that guy. At round 6, he would be unbelievable. Earlier than that, though, I don't know if I'm going to be doing that. Keep Rice round 4 or DJ Moore round 13. Oh, are you in one of those leagues where it's a keeper league, but you lose the draft pick of where the guy was drafted to your team? I think that's what you're getting at. I would not keep Rice at 4. I think DJ Moore at round 13 is an unbelievable gift from the gods, and you need to keep DJ Moore as long as you got him. But as a fellow DJ Moore owner, I've had him the past 2 years. You know what it's like. There are games where he has 4 catches, 2 touchdowns, 180 yards, and is like unbelievable. And then the next game he gets 0 targets. It's very, very strange with DJ Moore. So he's very, very frustrating as a fantasy owner. But I don't know. I think Rashee Rice will have a good year, but just because you get DJ Moore at round 13 with a brand new quarterback, you're going to try to roll with that guy. Hope my league mates see this. Since this notification, that's a good one. I tried calling, but it didn't work. Yeah, I just didn't take your phone call, but if you want to call back in, the number's 213-352-5216. Of course, you don't have May. No, Patriots, I think Drake May is going to be awesome. I just don't want to draft him in round 4, which is where he's currently going. The Patriots team, listen, good team, good squad. He's got a new pass catcher. I think they're going to put up a lot of points. I think the Patriots are going to be good. I think Drake May is going to be good. But he's going round 4 right now. I'm not taking any quarterback round 4. I don't have Josh Allen. I don't have Lamar Jackson. I don't have JD5. And I don't have Drake May on this list or Jackson Dart because they're getting drafted too high. So that's why I don't have those guys on this list. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Yo, it's Sean from Michigan.
Sean from Michigan is back on the show, hanging out with us, having a good time. Sean, are you a UM fan?
I am, but I'm not really much into college football or college basketball. I mean, I'm not like knowledgeable. I'm knowledgeable, but I'm more of a casual fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a great thing when you're live on a sports talk radio show to call yourself a casual before you even get going with it. But Sean, Sean, we're talking fantasy football quarterbacks. What quarterback are you targeting in your fantasy football draft?
Well, I'm in a half PPC league, which is a half point per completion league. So,
oh my gosh, what the heck is that crap?
Yeah, I know. But
half point per completion?
Yeah.
Okay, well then let me think about this real quick for a second there then. If you're going half point PPC, then you want to target a guy that's going to throw the ball a lot and is accurate and is going to complete a lot of passes, correct?
Exactly.
It puts a lot more value on quarterback. Man, Jared Goff is a pretty good option.
Jared Goff is a good option, but still, even like in my league, like quarterbacks still fall 5th, 6th, 7th round. Like, they're not as high priority as you would think.
No. As like most quarterbacks should, but that league is crazy. You're in your PPC league or whatever league you're in. What quarterback are you targeting in the draft?
Well, I don't know. I have a really good feeling about Tyler Shuck. I know he's not he's a high risk, high reward, but I don't know. I like Baker. I like Bo Nix.
Tyler Shuck with Kellen Moore year 2 is going to be really fun. They added in Jalen Tyson as a pass catcher who looks good so far from what I've seen in camp. Obviously, Chris Olave. I think Shuck is a really good quarterback. I think him and Kellen Moore are going to have some success together. I think he's a great option, especially if you're getting him around like 11 or 12 maybe.
Yeah.
Jordan. Thank you, Austin.
I like saving my picks for quarterback for later so I can get more in earlier.
Yeah, you're a smart man. You are a ball knower. I absolutely love it. Sean, before you go, today's question of the day is, what is your favorite bug?
I'm gonna keep the troll answers going, and I'm gonna say Spider-Man, which isn't even a bug, but
Spider-Man is officially on this list. Way to make me mad, Sean from Michigan. You're the absolute man, bro. God bless. We'll talk soon. My guy calling into the show, hitting us with a Spider-Man as his favorite bug. I mean, honestly, is Spider-Man a bug? Maybe. We talked about Stafford and why we would take Stafford. I want to talk real quick about a guy named Trevor Lawrence, better known as T-Law. This is the year for Trevor Lawrence and the Jags. I am not even joking, bro. I think there's a legit chance that the Jags win the AFC and go to the Super Bowl this year. I really, really believe in this team. They're returning 22 of 24 starters. The only guy on offense that they lost is Travis Etienne, which if you're going to lose a positional player on your offense, running back is probably the one to go, in my opinion. All the pass catchers are back. The entire O-line is back. Everyone else on this team in the organization side of things. This is the first time in Trevor Lawrence's career in back-to-back seasons he's had the same head coach and GM. Think about that. First time in his entire career that he's had back-to-back seasons with the same coach and the same GM. Consistency means a lot for these players. Look at what's happened with Jalen Hurts. Every time he loses OC and gets a new guy, he kind of falls off. Consistency matters in the NFL and in professional sports. This is the first time in T-Law's entire career that he's had true consistency. He also has a head coach in Liam Cohen that absolutely knows what he's doing. The Liam Cohen offense is a very, very, very well-run offense. It is a balanced scheme, but mainly prioritizes completions and getting the ball to the guys in open space. They have really, really solid athletes on this team. I'm high on the Jags, and I'm high on Trevor Lawrence for that reason. This will be the first time in his career, like I said, that he has the GM and the head coach from back-to-back seasons. I just think this Jags offense has a chance to be the best offense in the league. I really, really do. I really believe in T-Law, and I think he's a guy you're looking to get in round 7 or 8 and can finish as QB1 pretty easily, in my opinion. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Noah from Cleveland.
Noah from Cleveland calling in. Before that, someone chatted, where is Josh Allen? Josh Allen's getting picked in round 2 right now, which I think is just an absolute waste at round 2. So he's off my list because of his ADP, which is average draft position. But Noah, you're calling in from Cleveland. We're talking a little bit of fantasy football right now. What quarterback are you targeting in fantasy football this year?
I have absolutely no clue. I might try to go with Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is a good option, man. He's got Jalen Waddle now. The fun thing about Bo Nix is his first 2 seasons in the NFL, he's been 7th in fantasy scoring at quarterback. So he's a guy that you can get later in the draft, and he's probably guaranteed a top 10 season, which is great.
And I need your help here if you're a good fantasy guide. I have pick 2. Who should I take with pick 2?
You have the 2nd overall pick?
Yep.
I mean, it depends on who the guy above you drafts, but you either get the option of Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs, so you just take whoever he doesn't take.
Which one do you think will be better, though, Bijan or Jameer? Which one would be the better option?
I personally believe, oh man, it's a toss-up. Both those guys are going to be really good. It's on one end you have Jahmyr Gibbs as a bell cow. It's his first season without David Montgomery. A lot of people are pointing to that being like a good thing for Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't know. I'm kind of pointing it to an idea of like, he's always had that backup guy with him. He's always had somebody give him a breather, and the team's been successful. How will he operate as the only guy back there? I'm interested to see. And then Bijan Robinson, first year with Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski has been known to run his running backs into the ground. Remember what he did it with Nick Chubb year over year over year. They did it with Judkins last year to the point where Judkins got hurt. So I think Bijan's going to touch the ball a lot more than he ever has in his career. I'm pretty high on Bijan, but ultimately Jahmyr Gibbs is the guy on the better team, and I'm leaning towards taking guys on better teams than I am on just guys who I think are going to be good.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking Bijan a lot, but then I'm going to take Bo Nix and probably Bijan. I hope Bo Nix is there in the second round at least.
No. Bo Nix will be there in round 7. You don't need to take Bo Nix in round 2. You can take him in round 6 or 7, I promise.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're in here, you're not followed, please hit the follow button. But Noah is live on the show, talking ball, having a good time. Anything else from around the world of sports, Noah, that's been tickling your fancy?
No, but everybody follow. That's all I have to say.
Bro, unbelievable stuff. Noah, before you go, the question of the day on today's show is, what is your favorite bug?
Give me them sweat bees that you can just kill for fun.
Bees?
Yeah, the sweat bees that's been flying around biting the crap out of you that you just kill at like nighttime. Yeah, I love killing those things.
Sweat bees is officially on the list, and I probably just got banned on TikTok because Noah loves killing bugs. Just kidding, brother. God bless you.
Oh my God. Zach, come on.
Noah, you're the absolute man, bro. Thanks for calling. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, it's like my 8th time ever calling into the show, so.
Yeah, dude, you're an absolute beast. You're like a daily caller. You're the man.
All right, see you, Zach.
Peace. PV said, are you in the same fantasy league you were last year with all the cheating? Yes, I am in that league. And PV, we're starting a new league for TBWZ Fantasy Football League, the TIFL. And I'm extending you an invite. If you want to play in this fantasy football league, PV, since you're a loyal listener of the show, you have been extended an invite into the 16-team, 2-quarterback fantasy football league where all 32 quarterbacks will play. Ethan is in the Twitch chat, first-time chatter on Twitch. Appreciate you following. Appreciate you being here on the Purple app, brother. It means a lot. Do I watch UFC? Yes, I do watch UFC. I work Saturday nights, which is kind of tough for some of the UFC watching, but I do keep up to date what's going on with UFC. And PV, congratulations. You've just joined the TIFL, the inaugural season of the TIFL. I've been catching up on UFC. I'm in a weird spot with UFC, to be honest with you. I feel like it's ever since Paramount Plus, it's kind of fallen off. All right. There was a heyday of UFC post COVID when things were just absolutely popping like crazy, and I don't know. I'm just not super high on some of the guys that are fighting. I think there's a lack of star power right now going on in the UFC. I think there's unbelievable talent, right? I think there's a ton of guys who are incredibly talented that I like watching, and I like watching fight a lot. But ultimately, I kind of think it's a league right now that feels like it's slightly on its way out. What fights do we have to look forward to? Aspinall and Cyril gone? Yeah. I mean, who's Strickland going to fight? I mean, that whole division is just going to keep rotating between DDP and Hamzat and Sean Strickland. I don't know. I'm kind of out on that. Who's going to beat Makhachev? Ian Machado Gary? No. Justin Gaethje is retiring after his next fight. So what are we going to have Ilya Topuria get the belt back and then we're done there? That whole division is in need of someone. I like Quillian, but I'm done with Volko. I'm done with Jan. I'm done with Vaughn. I don't know. Olberg getting the belt was cool. I mean, Alex Pereira is still there. So, and the ladies. What are we going to do about the ladies? But, that is my thoughts on UFC in a quick one little for you, brother. That's how we do it on this show. I talked about T-Law. It's time to talk about a guy named Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams right now is going late round 6, early round 7, and some drafts he's even going all the way towards round 8. Caleb Williams is a guy that you can wait on in the draft and get him later. Why are we waiting on quarterbacks? Let me just point this one out to you. Why are we waiting on quarterbacks? I hope Gary gets mollywopped. I mean, I don't know why. I've just never watched Ian Machado Gary fight and been like, yeah, that guy rocks. He's like, I don't know. What is it? I've just never been super high on him. Him and then there's another guy who I've just never been high. DDP, I just don't think is a good fighter. I mean, he fights well, right? Just the dumb part. I'm the big idiot who's like, well, he's pretty good. He's a former champion. I'm like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I don't know. There's just something about him where I'm just like, nah, not him. What is our next fight? Yeah, that is the next fight. It's this week. That's what I thought. Machado Gary and Makhachev. Yeah, I don't know how close it's gonna be. Yeah, there's nothing on this card that screams like I need to watch this. It just we haven't had a card since. I mean, the White House card was awesome, but all those fights were kind of made for TV knockouts. But whatever. McGregor sucked. Caleb Williams, he's got all the talent in the world. Okay, he's maybe got the best offensive mind in football by his side in his head coach, whose name I'm forgetting, Ben Johnson. He has the ability to score with his legs. He has elite arm talent everywhere on the field. He's got weapons. He's one of my early picks for MVP in the NFL. Caleb Williams is. I believe in that dude a lot. I believe in that Bears team. I think they're going to be good. A lot of people are kind of like, there's no way they can get back where they got last year, and I think they can. I think they can even look better. Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, year 2 is going to be something very, very fun to watch. There were efficiency issues last year with Caleb Williams. I understand that. He's a young guy who throws as much as anybody in the league. He had an unreal amount of attempts. He's also just not a guy that wants to throw the ball away. A lot of quarterbacks that are a little bit more pocket presence, right, are going to, read one, check their second read, see if the check down's opened, maybe scramble out of the pocket, and then throw the ball out of bounds. Caleb Williams is going to do backflips and loop-de-loops on the rosary before he even does anything with the football. He's always going to try to keep the ball alive. He's always going to try to keep a play moving. That's who Caleb Williams is. So, yeah, the efficiency numbers, I don't really care about him because he's doing things that are just naturally going to be inefficient, things we saw Pat Mahomes doing, right? I like Caleb a lot. I like the Bears team. I think he's going to be a great quarterback. If you can get him later in the draft, you absolutely have to go out and get this guy. Would you trade CeeDee Lamb for McBride and Judkins? I'm low on CeeDee and have depth at wide receiver. I mean, we're a whole month away before football starts, and you're already talking about trading a guy off your team. You have no idea what he's going to be. 329 was stacked, bro. Yeah, the fights were good. You're right. Outside of the main event. But yeah, it was a pretty stacked card. But even then, like I don't know where I'm at with UFC. I just don't think. I thought the Paramount Plus thing was going to make it absolutely blow up, and everyone and their mother was going to start watching because it's like now on Paramount Plus and now by pay-per-view. And it hasn't really had that effect. It's almost had like a negative effect in a weird way. I feel like people are talking about it a lot less now that we just have more of it. When UFC was only once a month, the hype was unreal for every fight. And now we have cards every weekend. And so it's like there's just not as much hype. There's 48 fights 48 cards a year, and 3 years ago there was like 20, so everyone was crazy hyped. But I don't know. I think it's diluted itself. The product has diluted itself a little bit. We don't have a true star. There's no one who's a loudmouth doing backflips and stuff that like the rest of the world cares about. Everyone started to care about Justin Gaethje, and it's like, hey, he's 39 years old. Bad timing. It was supposed to be O'Malley, right? And then O'Malley kind of got exposed, and Dana White just sets O'Malley up with easy fights and cupcake fights so he could just win and keep going. It was supposed to be Paddy Pimblett, and Paddy Pimblett got exposed as well. I don't know. I think they're in lieu of a star. Need one. Jamar and Etienne for Rasheed, Achane, Kittle, Evans, and Purdy. I'm a Niners fan. I mean, that's the craziest trade of all time. You cannot add 5 players into a trade. You cannot have a 7-player trade. That's absolutely asinine. Your league manager, your commissioner should absolutely just veto that just because of principle. Jared Goff, Mr. Consistent. This team was a huge disappointment last year, and I think that they might right the ship this season in Detroit. For whatever reason, for me, Jared Goff is criminally underrated and is currently going as far, I'm not even joking, as round 10 or 11. You're telling me if I have the opportunity to draft 9 skills players and still get Jared Goff as my quarterback in round 10, I am taking that 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000. I love the opportunity of drafting Jared Goff that late. Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the few wide receivers who's always open. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to garner a ton of attention. That offense is going to roll this year. I'm excited about what the Detroit Lions have built, and I'm excited about having Jared Goff as my quarterback. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from? What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Ethan from San Diego.
Can't really hear you, brother. Where you at?
San Diego.
Ethan from San Diego calling in, a fellow SoCal brethren. I'm in Orange County, Ethan. Love San Diego, love Oceanside, love Encinitas. Hanging out, having a good time in the beautiful San Diego sun. But, brother, you're calling into the show. What'd you want to talk to people about today?
Wanted to hear your thoughts on Kyler Murray this season. I honestly think I could see him having a good season, but I just wanted to hear your thoughts.
I feel like we know what we're going to get out of Kyler Murray. There's going to be a few electric games from Kyler. There's going to be 4 or 5 games where he absolutely lights it up, has 300 yards, is unbelievable on his feet, and has an unbelievable performance. There's also going to be 10 games where he kind of stinks. And so everyone right now is clouded by the idea of how good he can be, instead of realizing that it's somewhere in between great and horrible that Kyler Murray finds himself in. I think he's going to be an average quarterback. I think he's going to finish around 15 or 16 in fantasy. He's going to have some unbelievable weeks, but he's also going to have some stinkers. Ultimately, a guy like him on the Vikings, it's a big risk, bro. The reward can be high, but also he might just be mid.
Okay, would you mind him being drafted as a backup quarterback in fantasy?
Absolutely. You draft him as a backup quarterback in fantasy. Let's say in this perfect world, you have Drake May as your starting quarterback, and then you have Kyler at your second quarterback, okay? And weeks 1, 2, and 3, Kyler Murray absolutely lights it up. You might be able to trade Kyler for a solid tight end or receiver or running back or whatever you need. Or if you're high on Kyler, you could even trade Drake May away for a really, really good wide receiver or running back and then start Kyler. I think he's a great guy to stash on his bench. For me, backup quarterback is a position in fantasy that I'm always looking to trade. I'm looking to move my backup quarterback into my starter slot and trade away my starter, or trade my backup because he's having a great season. I think you draft backup guys based on their trade ability, not necessarily how they're going to help your team during your bye week. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, so he's a great guy to move later on. Ethan, I think it's a great discussion on Kyler Murray. Do you think J.J. McCarthy is going to get traded?
I don't think so. I think they'll just hold on to him.
Going to just hang on to him?
Maybe for a bag of chips. I don't know.
People talk about the Chargers trading for him because the Harbaugh and J.J. McCarthy connection. Yeah. I'm a Chargers fan myself. Are you a Bolts fan?
No, I'm not.
San Diego.
I stopped being a Bolts fan once they left.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. They hurt your feelings. I totally understand it. Ethan, unbelievable stuff, brother. Thanks for calling. Thanks for following. Before you go, question of the day on today's show is, what is your favorite bug?
I'm gonna just go with the answer I've already heard because I don't really have one, but I'll go with Spider-Man.
Spider-Man now has 2 votes as people's favorite bug. That's a superhero, not a bug, but whatever. Ethan, you're the absolute man, bro. Thanks for calling. God bless. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Peace. Guys, every time I've gone live on TikTok, I've gotten at least 1 follower. Today I've gotten 0. Can 1 person follow me? Just 1. It would help me out a lot. Jack, great question. He said Dart. I am not high. There it is. JS, thank you for the follow. You're the absolute man. You can unfollow after the show. The New York Giants are actually on my teams to avoid in drafting this year in fantasy football. I don't want Jackson Dart as my quarterback. Not because I don't think he's good. Not because I don't think he's got the goods, bro. Not because I don't think he has moxie. I'm just not high on the Giants this year. Have you looked at who's running the offense for the New York Giants? First of all, John Harbaugh is the head coach, okay? John Harbaugh is quite old. he's not the most innovative offensive mind. In fact, he's not even an offensive mind. He's a defensive guy. So the success of the Ravens has kind of been dependent on who they have running the offense. Similar with the Giants. The three guys running the offense for the Giants this season, Matt Nagy, Greg Roman, Brian Callahan. Those are three dudes I am avoiding at all costs if I'm an NFL franchise. Instead, Harbaugh is collecting washed-up offensive stick-in-the-muds like Thanos collecting Infinity Stones. Those three guys are not great offensive minds at all. You're telling me you have a year 2 quarterback like Jackson Dart, an electric player, a guy with moxie, a guy with guts, a guy with balls the size of Manhattan, running an offense for the New York Giants that has Cam Scatterbo, Malik Neighbors, Isaiah Likely. They have weapons, right? They have a decent offensive line. They should be pretty good. The offense is being run by Matt Nagy, Greg Roman, and Brian Callahan. That offense is going to stink like crap, okay? They're going to beat up on bad teams and be half decent. They're going to be a 5-win team at best. Jackson Dart still doesn't know how to protect himself. There are reports from Giants camp that he's been struggling this camp, that he looked a lot better in rookie camp when he was backing up Russ than he has this season. I know he's hit his head pretty hard last year. He was out for concussions. He was out with a knee at some point. Jackson Dart is the guy that is always going to lower his shoulder and take a hit. But I don't know. I just don't think the Giants are going to be a good football team this year. I'm sorry. What about John Harbaugh and Matt Nagy screams fun, innovative offense? When talking just purely fantasy X's and O's, there's not a whole lot to be excited about with this Giants offense. Their best pass catcher is coming off a nasty ACL injury. Their running back is coming off a broken leg and seems like a dude that will miss games every year. He eats rocks as well. And their quarterback got hurt last year and is coming into a second year with a bunch of truly idiot coaches. I'm not high on the Giants players. I'm not high on Dart. I love those guys. I think they're great talents, but I'm kind of avoiding any Giants player this year until I kind of see things play out with that team. What about Bowers? Brock Bowers? I'm not taking any Raider either. I'm just not going to take the risk on a guy like Brock Bowers. If Brock Bowers has 22 points in week 1, you're like, hey, look, see? And then the next 2 weeks he has 8 points apiece, you're like, I just don't want that guy. I don't want any Raider. I don't think that offense is going to be good. The Raiders have some nice pieces. They have Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty, both guys that are probably going to go in rounds 1, 2, or 3, right? Genty's a first-round guy. Brock Bowers is going to go round 2 or 3. Guys are going to take them high, and they might be successful, but it's still the Raiders. I think Clint Kubiak is going to be good for that team and help that offense look half decent. But it's a team that's starting Kirk Cousins because the quarterback they drafted first overall is a QB that isn't ready. That just doesn't scream guys I want to draft, in my opinion, bro. You are starting Kirk Cousins at quarterback. If you watched I watched the opening drive of that preseason game. Every throw he made was a 5-yard out to the flat because it's the only throw he can make on the field. He can't throw the ball downfield. Brock Bowers is great in the seam. Brock Bowers is great catching balls over the middle. Brock Bowers is great on a deep sail route. Brock Bowers is a guy you could throw in a corner and throw the ball up to him and just chuck it up and he's going to come down to it. Kirk Cousins is not going to be getting Brock Bowers the ball in space. So then you're like, well, they're going to bring in Fernando Mendoza. They're telling you right now, by starting Kirk Cousins, the Raiders believe he's not ready. So you are a fantasy owner with Brock Bowers on your team. The guy throwing the ball to him is a guy that can't get the ball downfield, and the backup is a guy that's not ready to play in the league. I'm not drafting Brock Bowers. There are other tight ends that I would rather draft above him. Genty, a little bit of a different story. I was a Genty owner last year. When that team's not good, they're not running the ball. That offensive line, I know they got Corey Linderbaum. They're still not going to be very good. I promise you that. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Okay, so I am back. It is Noah from Cleveland again. I hate to be back.
Only one call per show, Noah. One call per show. I'm sorry, brother. Love you, man. Had to hang up on the guy. Only one call per show. That is a TBWZ Widescreen Radio rule. Nothing against Noah. Nothing against Cleveland. But we do only take one call per show. I don't think I've taken this one yet, though. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
My name is Drake, and I'm from Louisiana.
Drake, good to hear from you again, brother. You called in on Wednesday, dropped some knowledge for us, and he's back to do the same. We're talking fantasy football quarterbacks right now and teams we're going to avoid. Is there a quarterback that you're looking to take in your fantasy draft?
I'm not gonna lie. I saw your top 10 list from earlier, and I feel very disrespected, bro. As a Ravens fan, because why aren't you picking Lamarvelous, bro?
I would love to have Lamarvelous if he dropped to round 5, but I'm not taking a quarterback in round 3, and that's where Lamar's going right now. He's going early round 3.
But for good reason, though. Let's be real. That's a good pick right there.
I understand the sentiment of having Lamar Jackson as your quarterback is going to be helpful. I am under the camp where I need to get 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end before I draft a quarterback.
I don't know about a tight end. I'm not gonna lie. I would take if Lamar is still on the table, like no quarterback's taken, and you have to pick between a quarterback and a tight end. I'm picking the quarterback.
I would go backup running back or backup wide receiver or flex. Your flex is going to be more important to you than your quarterback. Look at last year. You draft Lamar Jackson in the first round. He gets hurt, right? Guess who had more fantasy points last year? Joe Flacco. Like, there's guys coming off the bench that can go in and step up and play quarterback well.
By the way, Pro Bowler Joe Flacco. Don't disrespect my boy. But
hey, no respect to Joey F.
Yes, sir. But yeah, man, I just feel like, okay, if you had the option between like a Trey McBride or a Lamar Jackson, and it's like round 3, what you picking, or 4?
I'm not taking either of those guys. I would much rather go wide receiver there. I'm going after
really?
Emeka right there.
Trey McBride? Wait, am I saying the right name? The dude from the Cardinals?
Yeah, that's Trey McBride, but like
okay. I was thinking about Trippy, bro.
No, bro, okay. Chris Godwin and Emeka Egbuka, those guys are going round 4, round 5. I would rather take those guys.
Emeka Egbuka?
Yeah, he's going
with
late.
The decline he had last season, bro.
With a hurt quarterback, and he got hurt last year.
I don't know. That's not good starting off, though.
I mean, guys get hurt all the time. I just think that there's more valuable pieces in round 4 and 5 than going quarterback. But yeah, if your strategy is to take a good quarterback, I think Lamar Jackson is a good one to take. I'm slightly nervous about what the offense is going to look like because it's a whole new system for Lamar. So there is a little bit of a question mark there, but I still think the guy's going to be good. He's kind of in a contract season. I kind of have question marks about what the Ravens are going to look like on offense.
And I'm feeling the same way too, but my number one thing is all going to depend on Zay Flowers. You saw that? Yeah. Did you see his contract, bro? That shit is absurd, bro. He's getting more than CeeDee Lamb. He better play like that, bro. And if he don't, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations where you had to pay the guy or let him go, and they decided to pay him. Zay Flowers is a good wide receiver. He's a fast wide receiver. He seems to.
Would you pick him over CD though?
No, bro, because Zay Flowers drops a really important ball. Like,
I know.
Every game he drops a really important ball. That's like, if they catch this, they win, and they drops it and they lose. And like, I don't see CD dropping passes.
You're giving me flashbacks to when they played the Chiefs, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly the catch I'm thinking of. But Drake, always love when you call, bro. We're doing Fantasy Football Fridays. Before you go, the question of the day today is, what is your favorite bug?
Favorite
bug?
With ladybugs.
Ladybugs, dude. I have had, let's see. I have had 10 people give me their favorite bug.
Not one ladybug?
Not one ladybug.
Really? I mean, that's crazy.
That's craziness. You are the man. Drake, God bless. Thanks for calling. We'll talk soon, bro.
Hey, appreciate you, brother.
Peace. Ethan, back in the chat, he said, my league is 0.5 point per completion and 6 points per passing touchdown. Your league is so juiced to quarterbacks, bro. I guess it all evens out in the end. So I guess quarterback might be a little bit more important in that league than others. But yeah, I mean, really, if you're getting 0.5 point per completion, you need to just look at pass-heavy offenses. I wouldn't look as much about the name. I would look more about on like the actual offense itself and how many times they pass per game. Like Bo Nix is going to be passing the ball a lot. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
I'm Michael, and I'm from Rhode Island.
Michael calling in from Rhode Island. Unbelievable stuff, brother. You're on the show. What did you have for the people today?
Say that one more time. You're lagging.
We're talking fantasy football quarterbacks. Oh, wait 1 second. Before we get to this call, I just got a follow on the Purple app from my guy Drake. You are the man, Drake. Thank you, brother, for following on that app, that platform over there. Michael, you're calling from Rhode Island. We're talking fantasy football quarterbacks today. What quarterback are you targeting in fantasy football?
I already did my draft. I got Joe Burrow and Tyler Shutt, I believe is his last name.
You know the NFL season doesn't start for another month.
Yeah.
And you've already drafted your team?
Yeah, because me and my friends do, like, a whole party thing.
You guys did it hella early. Did someone draft Ricky Pearsall?
I don't think so.
Well, good, because he's not playing the entire year. You got to wait and draft later because you never know what's going to happen. But you said you're rocking Joe Burrow as your quarterback. I don't know where I'm at with Cincinnati and this Joe Burrow team. Like, I don't know. Outside of him and the wide receivers, I don't trust anybody on that team. I don't trust the O-line. He even got sacked last night. I don't know. Joe Burrow's never been healthy. I would be nervous about Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I am. Apparently, he just hurt his ankle in preseason.
Man, I don't want to be the guy that jumps too heavy to things, especially this early before the season even starts. But if you have a friend out there who'd be willing to make a trade for Joe Burrow, I don't know, man. I might be willing to do that. I like Tyler Shuck, though, in that offense with Kellen Moore year two. I think he's going to be pretty good. But, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one.
Yeah, I got a solid team, though.
I absolutely love that for you. Michael, we're also talking about teams to avoid, and one of the teams that I am avoiding this year in fantasy football is the New York Giants. How do you feel like the Giants are going to finish this season?
Oh, they're going to go 17-0.
There we have it, 17-0 or 18-0. They're going to play an 18th game miraculously and somehow go 18-0, be the first to ever do it. Michael, unbelievable stuff, brother. Before you go, the question of the day on today's show is, what is your favorite bug?
Yeah, they're all disgusting.
Really? Even butterflies and ladybugs and roly-polies and praying mantis and caterpillars?
Yeah.
All right. No answer.
I'll say caterpillar.
All right. He doesn't get an answer. Thoughts on Genty and Achane PPR? Genty is a very, very talented running back. I don't think the offensive line for the Raiders is very good. Okay? I really don't. Rocchio just hit a solo home run off Michael King. It's now 2-0 Guardians, bottom of the third over the Padres. Yes, we're watching baseball right now. I don't think that Ashton Genty's offensive line blocking for him is a very good offensive line. I had Genty last year. There were a lot of times where I'm like, guys, no. They ran the ball. They gave him the ball a lot, but that team's going to be down a lot late in games. I just don't think they're going to be running the ball. I think Genty's a super hit or miss guy. He's going to have some good games here and there. He's going to have some really, really nice runs, but ultimately I've more question marks than answers with Genty. Achane is another guy who I really, really like. Past few seasons, he's been one of the better running backs in the league under Mike McDaniel. He's not there anymore. Mike McDaniel's a running game guru, an absolute genius when it comes to running the football. How much of that led to the success of Devon Achane? Probably a decent amount. I have more question marks than answers about Devon Achane, so I'm not going to be taking him in fantasy this year. Judkins or ETN keeper? Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on if it's one of those I don't know. Let me think about that. What is up, brother? You are live on TBWZ Widescreen Radio. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Y'all. Name's Marcus Nigger.
David said the Raiders lost both of their best O-linemen to injury. Okay, their best O-linemen are still not good offensive linemen. They're not good players. I know that the coaching wasn't good. You're calling Pete Carroll not a good coach. That's a Super Bowl champion and multi-time national champion. Calling him not a good coach. Clint Kubiak's a first-year head coach. You're now like, oh, hey, Clint Kubiak's a great coach. I'd never seen him do it. Question marks. The offensive line, they got Linderbaum? Cool. How much is one guy going to influence that offensive line? Question marks. They're starting Kirk Cousins at quarterback because the guy they drafted number 1 overall, they don't think is ready to play. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Do you see where I'm getting at, guys? We're not taking teams this year in fantasy football that we have question marks about. We're taking teams that we know who they are. We're taking Rams. We're taking Chargers. We are going out there and we're taking Seahawks players. We're taking guys that we don't have question marks about. LMAO, why? Because they're on a bad team, they're a bad player. Clint Kubiak is coming off of a Super Bowl. He's never been a head coach, David. He's never been a head coach. You know who else was a sought-after talent? Nathaniel Hackett. He got fired in 4 games. You know who else was a sought-after talent? Urban Meyer. He got fired after 8 games and kicked a player. I think Kubiak's going to be good. He doesn't have pieces right now. The Raiders do not have pieces. That is just statistical facts. X's and O's. That team's not very good. Why are we not taking any NFC East champion players? Why are we not taking any NFC East champion players? I don't know what you mean. I'm quite confused by what you mean. The NFC East? Why not Steelers? What do you think Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers are going to look like this season? In year 20 for Aaron Rodgers, in year 600 for Mike McCarthy. What do you think that team is going to look like? For real. I understand the idea of like wanting to take Pittman or DK Metcalf. I can understand both of those. I can understand you wanting to take them. Like, that Steelers offense is not going to be very fun. It's not going to be very good. Does that scream innovative, young, talented offense? No. What happened to the Cowboys? The minute Mike McCarthy left, that team just exploded. Number 1 offense in the league the minute Mike McCarthy left. I'm not high on the Steelers. I'm not high on the skills positions. I'm not really high on Warren or Dowdle. Not really super high on the offensive line. DK and Michael Pittman are good pass catchers, but how high am I on Aaron Rodgers? Not really. Do you guys hear that? Do you guys hear that pipe in the background? Can you guys hear that? Brock Bowers and Harold Fannin. No. I'm not gonna take a pass catcher whose quarterback is Kirk Cousins. Brock Bowers is good because he's a downfield threat, and Kirk Cousins can't get the ball downfield. The other guy's not ready to play quarterback. Can you guys hear the pipe in the background? Because the Giants are winning the NFC East, that's why. Do you know who's running the offense for the Giants? Marcelo, do you know who's running the offense for the Giants? Please name the 3 guys that are running the offense for the Giants. And then say with a straight face that team is winning the NFC East. Holy crap. The coaching staff is horrible for the offense, bro. You didn't see Kirk Cousins throw bombs to Kyle Pitts last year? No. Nobody did. Oh my gosh. Just because he doesn't know, Marcelo has no idea who his own coaches are. I'll just list them for you. The offensive coordinator is Matt Nagy. Greg Roman is the assistant to the offensive coordinator, and Brian Callahan is the passing game coordinator. Holy crap, what a boring group of 3 dudes. John Harbaugh is putting together one of the worst offensive coaching staffs I've ever seen in football, and it's absolutely hilarious because all he's doing is going after his friends. Can you guys hear the pipe behind me and the water running? You don't watch football if you didn't watch the game where Kyle Pitts scored 3 touchdowns in 1 game. Oh my gosh, I mean, you're such an idiot, dude. What are you talking about? Good. I mean, we should be delusional about our sports teams. I'm 100% with you, Marcelo. You got to be delusional about it. And I'm allowed to call you out as well. And you're allowed to call me out for being delusional about my Chargers, who I think is going to be the number 1 offense in the league. I'm just not high on that Giants team. The Giants, I think they're going to be legit bad. I think they're a 5-win team, a 6-win team, maybe a 7-win team. 7-10 for me is the ceiling for this Giants squad. What about John Harbaugh, Matt Nagy, Greg Roman, and Brian Callahan screams fun, innovative offense? Nothing, first of all. When talking just X's and O's, your best pass catcher is coming off of a really nasty knee injury. Thank you, James. Your quarterback is coming off of, I don't know, one of the worst camp that he's had. Nonstop fuel said the Chargers will never have the number 1 offense with Justin Herbert at quarterback. That guy's a complete jerk. Someone kick him out.